Good evening, welcome to the July 19th meeting of the Glenbrook Town Board. Please rise for invocation and for allegiance. Join me in prayer. God our Father, you guide everything in wisdom and love. Accept the prayers we offer for our nation and for our community in your goodness. Watch over all of those in authority so the people everywhere may enjoy freedom, security, and peace. We ask this through you. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilman Martin?
Here.
Councilman Pittavani?
Here.
Councilman Hennel?
Here.
Councilwoman Wozzowski? Here. Supervisor Ketzler?
Here. We have the agendas up front. There's a few things. It looks like a little small agenda, but we do have a resolution 9 we're taking out, the positive declaration. Before we do that, I believe Mike is going to take up the assessment of part 2 and 3 of the reform before we take up the positive declaration.
That's correct.
So the only change to the agenda, or just to be aware that after the supervisor's comments, we'll take up an exercise up here and go through parts, I have so much paper it's here somewhere, parts 2 and 3 of the environmental assessment form for the project in all clause. And then we'll move into the positive declaration on that Pine Mohawk LLC project. And other than that, there's no additions, no add-ons, or anything else. So I'll start with town council reports on my left. Councilman
Just one thing to mention. This past Saturday, we had a great event in Indian Meadows Park where the main entry road was dedicated to Jason Morris. As Jason Morris weighed in on his achievements as an Olympian from the town of Glendale. So it's a great event, very well attended by quite a few folks. It looks like everybody had a great day. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Wozzowski.
I have no question.
Councilman Martin.
Nothing tonight.
Councilman Pittavani.
Nothing tonight.
Okay. So we'll move right into the public hearings. There are two. Tonight there's a public hearing to hear anyone interested in matters related to the proposed consolidation of certain special district extension into an already special district. So that public hearing is now open. And this is, again, a public hearing. Anyone interested in the extension of sewer district 9, consisting of one parcel located at 7 Hortsman Drive, to be consolidated into an existing special district. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the next public hearing. Yeah, geez, I remember. This one, short on details, and puts the proposed consolidation of certain districts. Jason? Districts. Oh, is this the consolidation of all the?
Yeah, where the extensions are being consolidated into a larger mother districts, there are no implications financially at all, it's just for administrative reasons.
Anyone here to be heard on that matter? Going once, going twice. That public hearing is closed. Next public hearing is the public hearing regarding the extension of sewer district 9, consisting of one parcel located at 7 Hortsman Drive, to be, or for the extension for that district. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter? Again, this is regarding the sewer district extension 9 at 7 Hortsman Drive. Going once, going twice, seeing none, that is closed. We move to privilege of the floor. We do have one person signed up, and it is Lori Antel.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Please to the podium and just address the board, please.
My name is Lori Antel. I live at 33 Rosemere Road, and I'm here to address the board tonight for the ongoing issues that we've had with the building from Mark Hines. I was hoping he was going to be here tonight so that he could hear how I'm addressing you. I have pictures of the so-called drainage system that he has put in place in front of my house and the neighbor's house across the street. Can I pass these?
Yes, please.
They're not the best pictures, but you can get an idea. He did not put full pipe down into the drainage ditch. The pipe is only underneath the parts of my driveway and the driveway across the street. When it rains, it floods. And then he runs down trying to put the rocks back in. It's eroding onto my property. There is a simple fix. I have not spoken with Mr. Hines personally because we've had problems since he's been building since day one. So I'm asking the board to, if he were to come and ask for further development, that they take a look at these pictures here and even come to the house to see what we've had to deal with.
What's the address again?
33 Rosemere Road.
Okay.
It's, just to fill in the blanks, it's a private road, so it's not the town drainage district.
Right,
That's why-
it was an access road when we bought it, and we bought it in 2010, and I maintained it. Plowed it in the winter, took care of the stone. Was under the impression that if anybody ever built or bought the 60 acres past me, it would become a town road.
Does he have anything in that's permitted, Mike, do we know in terms of a building permit or?
Well, he got subdivision approval for the additional lots, and he has been seeking to have that private road approved by the town, because he is looking for the town board to waive a requirement in our code that he have an attorney general's approval or no action letter. But apparently he sold the lots before he applied for his attorney general's approval, so the attorney general is not looking to grant him that approval, because in effect, it becomes a mini homeowners association.
Right.
And there's simplified procedures. It's just the one asset, the road, that it's a private road, has to be maintained. So they're looking for the town board to accept, in lieu of the Attorney General's approval, his assurances that he would put in easements that would run with the land, his obligation to each of the property owners to maintain that road.
So how many lot subdivision was this? 3. Was it approved by the planning and zoning commission?
Yes.
Was
There's a
there
condition on the acceptance of the road.
over an acre of disturbance?
Was there over an acre of disturbance?
For the 3 lots?
Well, no disturbance for the, because the extension of the road is not very far.
I mean in total, project. Site disturbances,
Yeah.
house, well then he's subject to a SWIP.
All he did was he took care of the site work first, stabilized the site work at the top. Built the road stabilized to start with, so he didn't have over an acre of disturbance as in the whole project moved forward. So never got into the over acreage of having to try to stormwater management plan. Yes, was very sketchy on the engineer's part, which led us into back and forth discussion.
Has this been referred to DEP?
Wait, let me just, we're on privilege of the floor, so let's, this is something we can bring to the work session. I don't want to do anything.
All right.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else wish to be heard on privilege of the floor? Going once, going twice. Yes.
I'm not sure when's the appropriate time, but in anticipation of getting the pods back tonight, I wanted to see if we could schedule a second meeting for going over draft scoping document and set a meeting tonight if we can. I just want to bring that up and maybe we can talk about it after you guys go through the secret process.
So that would be a public meeting, like a workshop?
Yes, yeah, we start workshop, it'd be a workshop, general public would be there to start their comments and so we can address the appropriate comments then.
So for us, that would be August 9th.
That'd be fine, yeah, whatever the date is, I just wanted to, hopefully we can set that date tonight if that's appropriate. with
So by
everybody.
resolution, we'll do it.
Well, we,
Got to act on seeker first, I think, yeah.
in that resolution, we can address it.
So we have to amend the resolution.
Well, the resolution currently says that we want the applicant to submit a scoping document to the town board, so that we just add the review date.
Okay.
And we'll have that scoping document prepared to submit preliminarily next week for everybody, so we have the draft already completed.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard on privilege of the floor? On the matter, on the Rosemere matter, is that something you want to take to a work session, or is that something that's really not a board matter at this moment?
Well, I agree.
All right, so that'll be on the work session for August 9th. Okay. so-
You're the MS4 officer for the town, right?
Correct. It does not meet MS4 regulation as of right now.
So, we have a busy night, August 9th already. Other than that. Anyone else wish to be heard? Seeing none, the floor is now closed. Move the supervisor's comments to the board. Some brief stuff before we get into a little bit meatier stuff, but the CFA application, we have two CFA applications going in. They're near complete. One I shared with you previously is for the existing bike trail that we have between Freeman's Bridge Road and Shawnee. It is the town's portion of Hudson something bike trail, which is very important connection. And so it needs to be refurbished. It's in disrepair, and our CFA application will be going in to hopefully help us repair that. The second application is related, but it's more of a planning application where we've talked about connecting the entire town with bike and pedestrian trails, which would build off the town center, Glen Ridge Road, what we're doing now, and Woodhaven, get into Off Claws, hopefully down the river, back to Freeman's. We've talked to some engineers about some of the train track issues. There's ways around that we can talk about, and then go out into our existing one that we're putting in for repair, and then out to Melwick eventually. But also you can take a right, go north up Freeman's, up through the commercial corridors, Freeman's connecting to Dutch Meadows, which we're currently working with now from Glenwick to Walmart, straight up to Town Center, and then Van Buren into the parks and the trail system into Anderson into Indian Meadows. So that's an aggressive plan. We're putting in for a planning grant for that. We're hopeful, and we think it meets the governor's initiatives, meets DOT's initiatives, and we'll keep you updated on that. Obviously, we don't hear usually until November, so we'll just have to wait until then until we hear what happens. John and I had an opportunity to meet the folks. We had 11 folks. Two got a little confused on the meeting time. One came in the next day, and I had a chance to meet with her, and one thought there was going to be a phone interview. I don't know where that idea came from, and I haven't heard back from him yet. But I think John and I had a productive day. We saw 11 great people. They're all great, I think, and we'll have to probably at the work session sit down and just go over our thoughts. I know the village met. I talked to the mayor. They did their interviews. They picked their three, or are picking their three. And so we're on dual tracks to be ready in August for appointments at the next meeting, and then hopefully get the committee together for right after Labor Day. History committee met. The Yates benefit, which is scheduled for September 15th. Please put it on your calendar. Invitations are going out shortly. Has been moved from the grounds of the Yates Mansion to Riverstone Manor due to logistical reasons, a variety of logistical reasons right now, that we just couldn't get around. So it's going to still take place on the 15th. It's still going to benefit the mansion, but it's going to be at Riverstone instead. What else? Oh, and then of course, please get the word out the best you can. We've been handing out all the flyers and bookmarks. The Indian Meadows concert and movie nights. We can get a nice crowd there for those. That'd be great. Every Thursday in August, we start with a movie the first Thursday, and then we have a concert, and then a movie, and then we end with 2 concerts. It's 5 Thursdays this summer in August, and we're looking for a good turnout for that. I had an opportunity to meet with National Grid again, this time with the Public Service Commission at the table, and boy, I tell you, it's really refreshing when you have the Public Service Commission at the table and National Grid at the same time. They were very helpful in trying to move this conversation on these corner poles. We're not there yet, but we've made progress, and my next step is I have to meet with John Burmaster and talk about some of the ideas. But I just love the fact that I asked for something. I said, I'd like to see a plan, and they said, well, you're gonna have to pay for that plan. And the Public Service Commission guy said, you can do it on National Grid's time. And that felt so good. That was great. So finally they get charged for something from National Grid. Dave mentioned Jason Morris Way. It was a fantastic turnout. The sign is up top, is in the ground. Not yet, okay.
Not yet.
It's getting there. We're close. They were calling and asking about that, and that was a great turnout. I wanted to update you on a few things, though, and one of them is I've been meeting with the county on the consolidation plan that the governor has imposed. We're close to, we have a draft proposal. I have significant concerns. I think others do too, who have seen it. I will get it to you, but just to go over briefly, there's a couple initiatives that they're looking to enact. And the plan overview includes something they call an inter-municipal energy savings initiative. And I'm not sure what all this is, but they're looking to do a variety of things to try to cut our energy bills collectively, all the municipalities. One would require us joining a solar energy consortium. We've talked about this already. They plan they have a whole list of properties that they want to put solar panels on, and some of it's municipal property, some of it is foreclosure property within the town. For example, they're looking at 586 Second Auger Road, they're looking at West Glenville Road, and they're looking at 923 Second Auger Road, all through county tax foreclosures, which wouldn't fit, it wouldn't be consistent with the conversation we had last week and our comp plan and all the work we've done out there in West Glenville. So that's one concern, but they claim that we can save a considerable amount if we join this energy or this solar panel consortium. They also suggested LED lighting initiatives where they help with changing all our lights to LED. I'm still confused because we can just do that on our own. I don't know why we need to join, why that is a consolidation. I don't understand that, but they also have an idea of a municipal lighting fund for facilitating LED lighting. So they want to create a fund that municipalities can draw upon to take advantage of going to LED. Again, it's not very interesting stuff. LED street lighting initiative, which they want the municipalities to take over the lighting districts, which we already did for Town Center, and we really only have one other major lighting district beyond that, major, I should say. And then convert those to LEDs, and then with that savings, we'll be able to save money according to that. Now, again, I don't know why we can't just do this on our own, why we have to consolidate with the county to do this. They've come up with an idea to join a municipal electric and gas alliance, which is basically a buying group, so that we can buy our energy through energy alliance. I don't know exactly. Again, these savings haven't been talked about or haven't been presented to us. They just say we can save if we join. The Municipal Healthcare Consortium is somewhat concerning because, again, we don't have any data on experience. I did send the county manager an email asking for the city and the county's experience. It's my third request for that because it's my view that the main driver of that experience is going to be the county and the city. We have not received that at all. I know they have it. They have their experience. They're already experience rated. So until we see that, I don't know how we can go forward. They've just come up with this idea called a countywide purchasing cooperative where we could all come together and purchase through the county. And that would require every municipality to agree on trucks, makes, models, equipment, One size fit all approach, and it would include everything from office supplies to commodities to equipment, and we would have to do that, we would have to all be on the same schedule. So if they said, well, we're buying all the trucks in March, and we're not ready to buy for whatever reason, maybe July something comes up, you're kind of stuck because you're not on the schedule. And I talked to our department heads, we're already doing this, actually better than trying to just be held down to one county. For example, the police cars that we're going to buy today, that's on the agenda, were piggybacked off the Utica bid, because it was the best price. So it's already happening. I don't know how this changes anything. So those are the ideas. Those are the groundbreaking ideas we have for saving taxpayers money at the county level. So on August 1st, this plan gets submitted to the legislature for their comments. And then it comes back to this panel for an August 24th vote. We have to make a decision, what we stay in and what we don't participate in. I have to write a reason. It has to be a written explanation as to why we're not taking part if we don't take part. And so, maybe on the 9th we have, as part of that work session, a more in-depth conversation on this stuff because I think there's definitely some concerns. Tonight I had to go down to the county. It's 2 nights in a row. I had to go to the county. I said you guys are going to get used to me hanging around here if I keep coming. And we had to approve the UCC budget. We did approve that budget. It's a 1% increase over last year. We had some concerns in some lines on that budget, but at the end of the day, and I voiced concern about using impact money to cover those, but that wasn't going anywhere. So the UCC budget did get approved. Speaking of budget, I had an opportunity to, well, before I go into the budget document, Jason, as you saw, provided second quarter financials. I'm not going to go into too much depth on them. Our expenses are up over 2 quarters in 2017 a little bit, 7.6%, or almost $500,000. However, it's due to the fact that we report on a cash basis, so through June 30th of this year, we processed 13 paychecks, which is more for whatever reason how the calendar fell. So that's going to show that our spending is up because we have more pay periods in the same period as over last year. And of course, the remainder of the increase is due to the most recent purchase of capital expense we made at Yates Mansion and increased employee benefits, specifically health insurance. After accounting for the additional paychecks, the total wage payments are flat over last year. That's largely due to the fact that we had turnover in the police department, which resulted in new recruits backfilling positions that were previously held in more experience and obviously higher earning police officers. Savings in that changeover in personnel, I caution as we go into the budget cycle, will dissipate quickly in ensuing few years due to the contractual step increases that are obviously present. Through 2 quarters, total employee benefits are up 12% over last year, and this is mostly due to the increase in health insurance expense. Our New York State retirement expense has been stable, although we were informed by New York State that our rate for the police retirement system will increase 2% this year. Our non-police rate will remain flat. We have absorbed 3 sick leave payouts thus far in 2017, with the 4th payout scheduled upon an employee retirement at the end of the month. The 4 payouts for 2017 already total nearly $100,000. And after this upcoming payout, we will have paid $565,000 to departed employees since 2014. That's a large amount of money to absorb in the budget. On the revenue side, many major non-property tax revenues such as Metroplex, tax and water, sewer fees are all received after June 30th, so we're not going to see that impact on the budget just yet. Court revenues have rebounded from a significant drop in 2014 and 15 and 16. Year-to-date revenues in 2017 are on pace for about $200,000 for the first time since 2013. The 2017 budget is budgeted for $185,000. So from 2008 to 2013, we average about $214,000 per year. With 9 months of the mortgage tax year complete, our mortgage revenues are tracking slightly below last year. And I think I mentioned last time that's because we had some bigger projects last year, the hotel being one of them. We expect to end 2017 with about $550,000 in mortgage tax revenue, and that's in line with revenue figures in our 2017 budget. Interestingly, building permit revenue is down from 2016 when we benefited from that hotel I mentioned before and Price Chopper renovations, to name just two. We're recently tracking slightly above our budgeted revenue, though, of 110. I know you're all anxiously waiting the tax cap formula and what it might be for 2018, and it looks to be about 1.84, which is a lot larger than it has been in previous years. That will provide us with about $162,000 in allowable new expense in 2018. And I might have mentioned that our budgeted health insurance increase for 2018 is about $160,000. So again, the increase in health is going to be is going to eat up the tax cap pretty quickly, and so it's going to be another challenging year with the budget. So on the budget, I had a chance to get the budget memo out with Jason's help, and Jason also provided some instructions to the department heads. My direction to the department heads on the budget that we'll be working on this summer is staying in at least, at the very minimum, the cap. I'm actually probably myself looking aggressively to be below that this year. And I just laid out that's hard with $160,000 being, going right to the health insurance, but we are definitely looking to stay on the cap again. I mentioned to you, I put in the memo that we're expecting about $160,000 in health insurance expense in 2018. I asked them to keep that in mind. I asked them, or I mentioned that the sales tax agreement that we've all talked about over and over again keeps us flat in that line, and so that our biggest growth is, again, we're not going to get that growth in that line. I asked them for all their capital projects and equipment needs. That's critically important as we budget, because as we go through the year, we don't like to hear, oh, I need this, I need that. We like to make sure that people have planned and we can expect what we might have to do. Doesn't mean I told them all they're going to get it, but they at least have to provide it so we know as we're making our decisions what to do on those decisions. Lastly, I asked them, because it's been a while, to review their fees. And that means reaching out to the sister communities and seeing what their fees are compared to our fees across the board, and see if we need to amend any fees going into 2018. It's been a long time since we've looked at that. So they will submit their budget to the comptroller on the 1st, and then we will go to work on that. And I think, I don't have a calendar, I think I do have a calendar with me. We will adopt the budget on the 15th of November. So I will file my budget with the clerk on the 27th of September, and then we will do adopt a preliminary budget on the 18th of October, and then there'll be a public hearing on the 19th of October. And we do have the 30-day forms again, or I'm sorry, the budget forms this year will be Wednesday, September 6th, here in this room, and Thursday, November 14th at the Senior Center. Both of those at 7 o'clock. And really, that's all I have. Anything else? Any questions?
I just want to comment on the county effort for savings. I've never heard such a bunch of malarkey. It's just stupid. It's an insult. In the context of this fiscal environment in this county, in this composite, it's an insult. I mean, do they honestly expect us to believe that we're having these huge savings from LED light bulbs? Maybe we can buy LED light bulbs under their purchase plan there and in bulk, and then we'll realize double the savings.
That's true. That's what we'll do. Right?
It's crazy.
Did seem like a half-hearted effort on ideas.
It truly is insulting to the taxpayers of this county.
I Thank you. Okay, so now, this is the place in the agenda where we will take a break from the resolution here before we get started, and we will take up the part two of the full environmental assessment form related to the Pine Mohawk LLC project, which is the waterfront plan development at 45 Mohawk Avenue in Alton. As you recall, in the past, we talked about going through this. What you have in front of you is the staff has already completed theirs, and just so you have it, not to influence you or anything, just so you can see where there might be differences or changes. You have a lot of maps out there. And what we'll do is we'll go through this question by question. We'll look to Councilman Martin and his expertise to help us where we might need that. And I also have Form 1, Part 1 up here. If we need to refer to any of that, we have that here to refer to. So with that, and of course we have the expertise in Mike Cuevas as well, who can obviously jump in at any time. So with that, we'll take up question number 1. So the audience is aware, there are 18 questions over 10 pages. Many of the questions are multi-part, so it's question 1, A through H. They are yes and no, so we will probably get through it quicker than it seems.
And I just want to add, before we take this up as a preamble, first of all, I want to express thanks to the applicant for the completeness of the application. I want to express deep appreciation to our community resources here in terms of the Conservation Commission, Planning and Zoning Commission, the residents who have provided us input. These are valuable resources for us as we take up this form and undertake this hard look as the lead agent in review of this application. So I just want to make sure that's on the record that, you know, this is a very robust and in-depth view that's been taken here, and we have a lot of resources available to us as we go through this assessment.
Thank you. So with that, we'll take up question number 1. Impact on land. Proposed action may involve construction on or physical alteration of the land surface of the proposed site. Yes or no? Now, do we go through A through H to answer 1, or do we?
Yeah, we go through A through H to come up with an answer if we think that's a potential impact. And go ahead.
Okay, so A, the proposed action may involve construction on land where depth to water table is less than 3 feet. Yes or no?
I concur with staff. That's a potential moderate to large impact.
Unless someone chimes in, I'm just going to move. B, the proposed action may involve construction on slopes of 15% or greater. Jim?
No, I would say no on that, if everybody concurs.
Yeah, I think feel free to answer, Jim. Someone else can jump in if they feel. We'll just ask you other questions. C, the proposed action may involve construction on land where bedrock is exposed or generally within 5 feet of existing ground surface.
I didn't see any information that said there's bedrock conditions of that type, so I would indicate no or small impact.
The proposed action may involve the excavation and removal of more than 1,000 tons of natural materials.
I think there, again, I concur with staff. There's a potential for a moderate to large impact there. There's going to be a need for a lot of fill to be brought into this site in lieu of the floodplain condition. So I concur that's a moderate to large impact.
E, the proposed action may involve construction that continues for more than 1 year in multiple phases. Well, that's easy.
Yep.
Yes. F, the proposed action may result in increased erosion, whether from physical disturbance or vegetation removal, including treatment of herbicides. I would say yes.
Yep.
The proposed action is or may be located within a coastal erosion hazard area. I don't see that.
I didn't see what this,
Is that a yes?
Coastal erosion.
No, I'm sorry.
That's
No.
enough?
The coastal erosion, it's not a coastal
Right.
erosion hazard area.
so it's not.
Okay, so that brings us to H, other impacts. Do we have anything to add to this section that isn't already asked regarding the proposed construction and physical alteration of the land surface? We do not have anything to add, so the question for one would be, I think, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna move on to question 2. Now, if we really want to have fun with this, and I think maybe we should at this point, why don't we each take turns on sections? We start with Mr. Hennel on 2, Gina on 3, I'll do 4, 5, 6, so everybody gets into the fun.
This is the impact on geological features.
Thank you.
And the overarching question is, the proposed action may result in the modification or destruction of or inhibit access to any unique or unusual landforms on the site. For example, cliffs, dunes, minerals, fossils, and caves. So the first question was identify the specific landform. You don't have anything.
I'm not aware of any special landforms.
Other than archaeological?
That's a different question.
No, that's a separate section.
So I guess if anyone has anything that potentially would be no or small.
Give me a moment. E2, so it says refer to E2G.
Yep.
This is like a turn on text.
That's the government for you.
Yes. It says here on part 1, no. E2G. This is like bingo. Sorry. E2G, it says no. So I would say no.
The next question was the proposed action may affect or is adjacent to a geological feature listed as a registered natural landmark.
I would say no, small amount, or I don't know of any national landmarks.
Nothing with a riverfront that we're aware of. That's no or small. And other impacts, we have the option to list.
Regarding this, I don't think so. Northwest Dunes, mineral phosphorus caves.
So the recommendation is staff was to mark that section no.
You got off easy, Councilman. That was a short one.
We got more, we'll get them in the next rotation.
Councilman Rosowski's got a long one.
It's even happening a lot tonight. Okay, so section 3 refers to impacts on surface water. The proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies, for example, streams, rivers, ponds, or lakes. So there's several sections, A through K. A through K, section A says the proposed action may create a new water body. Relevant part 1 question would be D2B and D1H.
I would say no, there's no new water bodies created.
Well,
Well, so D2B says, on the applicant, would the proposed action cause or result in alteration of increase or decrease in size of or encroachment into any existing wetland, water body, shoreline, beach, or adjacent area? That says yes. It says yes on the application. So,
Yeah, that doesn't A, that the response to A is
yes.
That's
We
general.
get wetlands later on in the question, yeah.
so that's still a no.
Yeah, so it's no, small, or small impact, yes, yeah, that's it.
Letter B says the proposed action may result in an increase or decrease of over 10% or more than a 10-acre increase or decrease in the surface area of any body of water.
I don't know.
Well, there's no change in the shoreline.
There's no change in the shoreline.
That's, you know, really gonna change the river, it's not.
It's not like a bill or culvert.
Gee, where's that happening? Okay, I'm saying no
I
or
would say
small
no.
impact.
C, the proposed action may involve dredging more than 100 cubic yards of material from a wetland or water body.
No, there's any
There's
trees.
no,
I would say no to that.
okay, well, it does say the guidance question on the application is, does the proposed action action, including excavation, mining, or dredging during construction operations or both. The applicant has checked yes under the subsection where it says if yes, purpose of excavation or dredging site soils cleanup, but estimated approximately 11,000 cubic yards over a duration of 6 months.
But I don't think any of that's coming from the water, from the wetlands or the water body. I think that's just,
I think that's a general, is that a general?
that's it.
Or is that a no engine?
Yes. Yes, it's no.
It's correct that it's correct.
The proposed action, or letter D, the proposed action may involve construction within or adjoining a freshwater or tidal wetland in the beds of any other water body.
Now, that one I think is a yes.
Yes.
Yep,
So that's a yes, Chuck?
yep, I would say moderate to large on that one.
Okay. E, the proposed action may create turbidity in a water body either from upland erosion, runoff, or by disturbing bottom sediments.
I don't believe, well,
I would agree with staff that it probably would.
I agree. And again, these are things to be studied, that we're indicating.
Right. Letter F, the proposed action may include construction of one or more intakes for withdrawal of water from surface water.
no.
Then
Right, Tom? Would you say no? RMS4 officer said no.
G, the proposed action may include construction of one or more outfalls for discharge of wastewater to surface water.
No, it's all going into the public sewer, so. And the outfalls from the stormwater are going to be on site, so I would say no.
H, a proposed action may cause soil erosion or otherwise create a source of stormwater discharge that may lead to siltation or other degradation of receiving water bodies.
Staff.
I agree, moderate to large impact may occur.
Read it. The proposed action may affect the water quality of any water bodies within or downstream of the site of the proposed action.
Well, I think in lieu of our prior responses, that's a possibility.
J, the proposed action may involve the application of pesticides or herbicides in or around any water body.
Potential exists.
Absolutely. Here we find grass and water, right?
K, the proposed action may require the construction of new or expansion of existing wastewater treatment facilities.
Yeah.
But we don't have
Do we
any.
need the expansion up?
Treatment facilities.
Not the collection, but the treatment.
So you're not talking about after it's built, you're talking during the construction?
No.
No, the plant.
Oh, efforts.
Yes.
Capacity.
Do we have excess capacity in the sewer plant to accept it?
Yeah, it's a lot of access.
So then the answer there would be no in this case.
And it's not our,
For a year,
But if it were an issue, we'd consult with the city, but they have plenty of capacity.
yeah.
so staff has recommended, yes.
Yep.
And it looks like our recommendation would be yes, Elgin, is that correct?
That's correct. So yes response in light of, anytime you have, if you just have one moderate to large impact indicated, then that's a yes on that question.
So number 4, impact on groundwater. The proposed action may result in no additional use of groundwater or may have a potential to introduce contaminants to groundwater or the aquifer. And A through H. A is the proposed action may require new water supply wells or create additional demand on supplies from existing water wells. Tom, I don't believe we need any new wells because of this project.
It wouldn't affect our supply of water, the supply of water at that project.
So that would be a no.
Yep.
B, water supply demand for the proposed action may exceed safe and sustainable withdrawal capacity rate of the local supply or aquifer. That would be a no.
You just said so.
Well within our capacity. Proposed action may allow or result in residential use in areas without water and sewer services.
No.
Proposed action may include or require wastewater discharge to groundwater. I don't believe so. Proposed action may result in the construction of water supply wells in locations where groundwater is or suspected to be contaminated. No. You said we didn't need them. Proposed action may require the bulk storage of petroleum or chemical products over groundwater or the aquifer. That would be a no. The proposed action may involve the commercial application of pesticides within 100 feet of potable drinking water or irrigation sources. And I believe that you're going to be using pesticides. No.
Within the-
No,
Yeah, within that.
drinking water source, that's
Yeah.
not.
Right. Well, that's the thing. The river.
So if we say Monmouth, you'll actually have to research
That's the
it.
aquifer zone there.
That's correct.
I wouldn't be agreeable. We need more information, don't we?
Now's the time to ask for it. If you think we do.
I'd rather err on the side of being safe.
Exactly.
Who draws that map?
No, the aquifer generally runs under the law. And so that's, where you draw the zones.
See, I didn't know where the, is there a Mohawk River or potable water supply for anybody?
I hope not.
No.
No, I don't think so.
I think the answer here is no.
I think it's no too.
Okay. I don't know why yes is indicated for the overall question, because everything we came up with is no or small amount.
Yeah, I try to imagine that they're thinking of the proximity to the aquifer. So that it's, zone 2, there's certain uses that are not permitted in that aquifer recharge zone.
So can we write that?
Have another
H?
impact? Okay.
What we were in.
Impact on the aquifer via the river, Mike? I mean, I'm just not sure of this thing.
Just if there's any aquifer in there.
Proximity of the aquifer.
Impact on aquifer due to proximity?
So that would be a yes, and we would mark that yes. More. Number 5, Jim.
Okay, impact on flooding. The proposed action may result in development on land subject to flooding. Okay, and I believe there's what, A through G, sending on the next page. First letter, item A, the proposed action may result in development in a designated floodway. I think that's a yes.
Oh, yeah.
The proposed action B, proposed action may result in development within a 100-year floodplain. That's a yeah, that's a moderate to large impact, I believe.
Mike, I'm sorry, Jim, is it a floodway there, or is it a floodplain?
Floodplain, not floodwater.
There's a floodway, but we're not in it.
You're not in it?
Okay, I'm sorry, so that's reversed. A is a small to moderate,
Right.
or no, small, and then
D, yes.
B is a moderate to large. Okay, the proposed action may result in development within a 500-year floodplain. That's pretty tough. I don't think that's the case here.
No, actually.
No.
Yeah, actually, some of the townhomes are located, if you look at the map, the ones that's in the townhomes are located in the 500 flood. According to the sheet in the big map.
Yeah. Okay, that's a yes then. Okay, D, the proposed action may result or require modification of existing drainage patterns. Why, I think that's a yes. So that's moderate to large. Proposed action may change floodwater flows that contribute to flooding.
Well, I thought I heard
It's not gonna change the river.
they were gonna raise, but if you're gonna raise the, level of the ground, that would be an area where water could have gone, where now the water's not gonna go.
Yeah, it's
Could have
replacement.
Right? You're adding, fair, right?
Right, so
We're actually going to be putting lifting structures where the parking is going to be within the floodplain, but our living space will be above that. So we're not really anticipating raising the ground that much, but we're going to be raising the living space within the building. Or they're out of the floodplain in case of the single families and,
I don't see ever changing the flow of water. Generally, water flows.
And during flood, this is flood water.
Because of things like ice jams and such. So it'd be pretty tough to have a significant, I think that's not
I think-
change to floodwater flows.
Okay, if there is a dam located on the site, it's a proposed action, is the dam needed repair or upgrade, that's a no, that's simple. Any other impacts anybody can think of?
No.
Okay, so we have under this category 5, impact on flooding, we had 3 potentially moderate to large impacts yielding a gas response to that. Impacts on air.
Okay, number 6, impacts on air. The proposed action may include a state-regulated air emission source is the main question, and we have A through F. If the proposed action requires federal or state air emission permits, the action may also emit one or more greenhouse gases at or above the following levels. And you have,
I don't think you need to read them all.
okay, I won't read them all.
Unless you want to get into hydrofluorocarbons.
So I'm assuming no on
Let's
that.
see where that would be the case.
Okay. B, the proposed action may generate 10 tons a year or more of any one designated hazardous air pollutant, or 25 tons a year or more of any combination of such hazardous air pollutants. And I don't see where that's going to happen.
I don't see that.
C, the proposed action may require a state air regulation or may produce an emissions rate of total contaminants that may exceed 5 pounds per hour or may include a heat source capable of producing more than 10 million BTUs per hour.
I believe so.
I see that. D, the proposed action may reach 50% of any of the thresholds in A through C above. Didn't see it.
I don't believe so.
And
Looking at
E,
their responses, I'm not seeing any of these as positive as well.
E, the proposed action may result in a combination or thermal treatment of more than 1 ton of refuge per hour.
No.
No. So then 4.6, the impact on the air would be no.
That's correct.
Mr. Hennel.
We have impacts on plants and animals, whether the proposed action may result in the loss of flora or fauna. The first question is, A, is the proposed action may cause a reduction in the population or loss of individuals of any threatened or endangered species as listed by New York State or the federal government that use the site or are found on, over, or near the site. Did you reference E2O?
Did you make any initial inquiries with the state database on that yet?
The only thing that we have out there are 2 bat species.
2 bats?
2 bat species,
Indiana?
and the northern lawyer.
But we're not going to be cutting down any hickories. That's where they hang.
So you're staying out of their habitat, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
We'll primarily, they're very, as you know, the site doesn't have any trees on it. Any that we take down will be taken down in the clearing window, which is October 31st to March
But we haven't found any shagbark hickories out.
No.
That's what they said.
So we went through that with the wellness project.
So that would be a no.
Yeah, there's no particular species of butterfly or anything like that. Not really either.
No, aren't really.
So, I think you put those in. So B would be the proposed action may result in reduction or degradation of any habitat used by any rare, threatened, or endangered species as listed by New York State or the federal government. And as long as they're not cutting the hickory trees, but if they were to cut the hickory trees,
They don't have any 40 acres.
okay. So no.
No.
You want to get your chainsaw out here. I'd like to do your chainsaw.
C, the proposed action may cause reduction in populations or loss of individuals with any species of special concern or conservation need as listed by New York State or the federal government that use the site or are found on, over, or near the site. This is referencing E2P. So I guess my question is, I'm a citizen of the town of Glenville, I'm not an expert on habitats and animals. Does this go under other impacts? Should someone be called in as an independent party to make that determination to agree with this?
Well, I think the staff had looked at that too, and they didn't know on the entire question. So we generally looked at on this.
And the staff did that in consultation with the GECC committee.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that in the, I have the GEC, special meeting minutes here. I didn't see any of that in their stuff.
And I know it was not an issue before planning and zoning when they did their.
That's a no.
So C would be a no?
Again, I'm reading through their minutes here, and then they have their bulleted list at the end of their discussion, and I didn't see anything.
D, the proposed action may result in reduction or degradation of any habitat used by any species of special concern or conservation need as listed by New York State or the federal government.
Not to our knowledge.
Staff.
Not to our knowledge.
GECC.
E, the proposed action may diminish the capacity of a registered national natural landmark to support the biological community if it was established to protect. That references E3C.
We don't have any natural landmarks there.
So that's indicated as no. F, the proposed action may result in the removal of or ground disturbance in any portion of a designated significant natural community.
There is none such designation there.
There's no official, okay? So no. G, the proposed action may substantially interfere with nesting, breeding, foraging, or overwintering habitat for the predominant species that occupy or use the project site.
Say no.
I don't know what, maybe
Well, I
that's
think under the plan, most wetlands are not going to be disturbed, so that if there's, whatever the predominant species are, probably that's where they're doing any of this stuff, not on the industrial portion of the property that's going to be being worked.
H, the proposed action requires the conversion of more than 10 acres of forest, grassland, or any other regionally or locally important habitat. And the reference is E1B. So 10 acres is not being converted, right?
Correct.
I show current going from 2 to 1, forested on page.
Yeah, that's correct, 9 to 13, yeah.
Meadows drought, 4, approximately 4. So that's 5. sides.
This doesn't apply. Let's say no.
No.
And other impacts, so again, I asked, which, if you commented from the notes, again, should some time party verify this, but you're saying the other communities didn't find.
No, I didn't see anything in either the planning zoning commission notes or the GECC.
So back to the initial question, number 7, seeing as how those were all listed as no or small impact, staff recommended that we mark the entire section down.
Correct.
I concur.
Councilwoman.
Okay, number 8, impact on agricultural resources. The proposed action may impact agricultural resources. A, the proposed action may impact soil classified within soil groups 1 through 4 of the New York State land classification system.
I don't know what that is.
Or a farmer,
I think it's safe to say the answer is no here. Let's leave it at that.
The proposed action may sever crops or otherwise limit access to agricultural land, which would include cropland, hay fields, pastures, vineyards, orchards, etc. I believe that's not applicable at all. C, the proposed action may result in the excavation or compaction of the soil profile of active agricultural land.
No.
D, the proposed action may irreversibly convert agricultural land to non-agricultural uses either more than 2.5 acres if located in an agricultural district or more than 10 acres if not within an agricultural district. This is not an agricultural district, right? E, the proposed action may disrupt or prevent installation of an agricultural land management system.
Nope.
F, the proposed action may result directly or indirectly in increased development potential or pressure on farmland.
Nope.
No. G, the proposed project is not consistent with the adopted municipal farmland protection plan.
Now, that's a double negative.
No.
Not consistent, no.
Project is not consistent with the adopted municipal farmland protection plan.
Not consistent.
Right, so.
So if we have a,
Consistent with the farmland plan that we don't
It's
have.
adopted, but
It's not a word.
Okay.
we don't
It's a
have,
double negative.
yeah, we don't have a farmland protection plan. And any other impacts that anyone can think of with regard to agricultural resources?
No.
So then it looks like staff recommended it was a no, and since we have that as a no as well.
Impact on aesthetic resources. The land use of the proposed action are obviously different from or are in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. We have A through G. A is the proposed action may be visible from any officially designated federal, state, or local scenic or aesthetic resource. Well, I guess say yes, right?
Yeah, I agree.
From a officially designated state, federal, local scenic resource, if the river is that.
Well, I would say you can't say no to the impact on the river.
Even as a local resource, I think it's a local
It's the
consideration.
canalway, it's the riverfront
Yes.
development area.
I agree with the yes there.
The proposed action may result in the obstruction, elimination, or significant screening of one or more officially designated scenic views. I don't think we have a scenic view designation.
would that be, I don't know if it's officially designated. I was just thinking though, if you're talking about neighbors that can currently view the river, that's not officially designated.
Scenic view, we have that one, signs that indicates it's scenic.
I'd say no to that.
Yes.
I would too.
The proposed action may be visible from publicly accessible vantage points. One, seasonally screened for summer foliage but visible during other seasons, and 2, year-round. So there's 2 questions there. 1, action may be visible from publicly accessible vantage points. I think yes.
Yeah, I'd say from like maritime.
Yes, the applicant said yes to that as well, and the reference, other than Mohawk towpath scenic byway for approximately 1.5
situation or activity in which viewers are engaged while viewing the proposed action is A, routine travel by residents, including travel to and from work, and B, recreational tourism-based activities.
Well, recreational tourism-based activities,
Right? I don't know about the traveling to and from work, I mean, there's one maritime center down there, which, I don't know, people travel to work down there, but it's a very small.
They shouldn't be, since.
They shouldn't be, yeah.
Well, there's the rowing club as well.
The rowing
That's
club
like
is
very
there.
small impact.
So it's
It's recreational.
The recreational is a yes.
yeah, it's recreational, definitely, has to travel to work, I don't know. I would say no to that. It's at the end of a road.
What did the applicant put for that, for the first one?
I still say no.
Which one are we still on D?
We're still on D1. We concur to work, there's really no, it's not really a commuter travel.
No, I agree with that.
E, the proposed action.
D2, sorry, Chris.
Oh, we did D2. We said
D2 is a yes.
E, the proposed action may cause a diminishment of the public enjoyment and appreciation of the designated aesthetic resource. Alright. There is no public enjoyment there, it's private property right now.
People on the water.
Well, again, it's referencing the question as E3H, which designates small natural gas in private. That's as indicated by that way.
So that's yes.
Yeah, I'd say yes.
There are
Like
some-
Dave says, it's better to err on the side of caution.
There's F, there are similar projects visible within the following distance of the proposed project, and then asks for everything from 0 miles to over 5 miles. Are there any similar projects visible within the following distances? You see the distances there. It's pretty isolated.
3 to 5 or 5 plus, which would include
Yeah.
Oh, I got the casino project.
waterfront development down there, yeah,
Can you see that from there?
for 3 to 5 miles.
I don't think you can see one. I don't think you can see
There are similar projects visible
from.
within the following distance.
Yeah, they have to have elevation, Dave. You have to see them on the horizon. You have to stand in this site and see them
There's nothing visible.
in the distance. It's not just
Not
not
here,
here.
there's similar projects near this, they're physically visible, okay, I'm good with that.
You're on this.
No, that's a no.
Yeah. That's a no, and other impacts. I would say no.
So under that one, we have 3. We have A, D2, and
No, we have C,
D,
E, so that's a yes.
yeah, C? I missed that one.
Yeah, we have C. To both.
Okay.
Jim,
Okay. Impact on historic and archaeological resources. The proposed action may occur in or adjacent to a historic or archaeological resource. And we have A through here, E for questions under this. Letter A, the proposed action may occur wholly or partially within or substantially contiguous to any buildings, archaeological site, or district which is listed on or has been nominated by the New York State Board of Historic Preservation for inclusion on the state or national register of historic places. And the guidance there is E3E for these spots. And yes, it's the large Erie Barge Canal nominated by the National Park Service in 2014. So that is a yes.
yes.
B, the proposed action may occur wholly or partially within or substantially contiguous to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Office Archaeological Site Inventory. And the guidance there is F, and the applicant has indicated yes. So that would be a moderate to large impact may occur there. C, the proposed action may occur wholly or partially within or substantially contiguous to an archaeological site not included in the New York State SHPO inventory.
I don't believe so, but I mean, any riverfront property is potential to have archaeological impacts.
It hasn't been identified as
That
such.
hasn't been identified.
Yeah, I don't know how you answer that question. Unless you have local knowledge of something.
Right. Were the Native Americans on the river there?
Well, certainly we know over by now, that,
Anywhere on the river, you have to almost assume.
So you want to say yes?
If you want to err on the side.
Yep. Okay.
Staff indicated yes as well on that.
Okay. All right, moving on. D, other impacts. Anybody have anything? Okay, now on this question, it says under E, if any of the above A through D are answered moderate to large may occur, continue with the following questions to help support the conclusions in part 3. Proposed action may result in the destruction or alteration of all or part of the site of the or the property. Well, obviously, yes, all three.
Yeah.
The proposed action may result in the alteration of the property's setting or integrity. Okay, so that's a potentially large impact there. Proposed action may result in the introduction of visual elements which are out of character with the site or property or may alter its setting.
Well, it's going to alter its setting, but I don't think it's not supposed to character. It's going to improve it.
So you want to say no, small amount right there?
I mean, there's too
No.
many questions there. Yes, it's going to alter the setting, but it's not in a negative way where it changes the character.
It doesn't say it's negatively changing the character, but the character right now is, I mean, we know it's going to improve it.
Right, but the term out of character implies negative.
I think given the current status of the buildings there and the appearance of the site and the ground disturbance that has occurred, you know, as a result of that prior construction, I tend to agree with Chris on that specific question.
Yeah, I would say no.
All right, so it's a no on that one. Okay, John, impact on open space and recreation.
Number 11, the impact on open space and recreation. The proposed action may result in a loss of recreational opportunities or reduction of an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. We have A through A, or E. A is the proposed action may result in an impairment of natural functions or ecosystem services provided by an undeveloped area, including but not limited to stormwater storage, nutrient cycling, wildlife habitat. I'm thinking no on that one.
I tend to agree. I don't see where, I mean, there's not much of an ecosystem left down there in terms of the area that they're going to be disturbing.
Right.
Control like habitat, you've got the wetlands.
They're saying,
Not disturbed, so I think it's small impact.
Yeah.
B, the proposed action may result in the loss of current or future recreational resources.
Well, there's no current recreational resources, there's private property.
well.
Well, you have the marina.
Yeah, but they're not going to lose that.
Right. So it's our current.
Plus the project,
This project's
project's going to enhance recreational resources on the
public access.
Right.
To access.
well, again, I go back to the overarching question, you know, Proposed action may resolve the loss of record or reduction of any open space resource that's designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. I don't know of any areas down there where
It's not. So that's a no.
it's a no.
Okay, C, the proposed action may eliminate open space or recreational resource in an area with few such resources.
Again, I think it's gonna enhance it. It's gonna provide recreational resources. It's gonna provide
Park
space.
I'm still thinking though that the open space, you're gonna have undeveloped areas along the river I'm not looking at the whole parcel, I'm saying that there's parts of it where the open space will be impacted. So I would tend to go yes. And again, you can always come back and prove where it's not.
But how are you eliminating open space?
The waterfront's not developed.
Yeah, but it's private property.
The waterfront's not developed, it's open space.
I don't see it as a recreational resource. I would say no. It's not an open space or recreational resource as defined by our open space plan, which is the overarching thing you pointed out. There's no open space designation down there. It's some private property.
Riverfront recreational. Okay, no.
But adoption of municipal open space plan. And but there's no adopted open space down there by the municipality.
I was gonna side with what staff said with the yes, so.
I understand that, I just don't see it. Jim?
All that I just don't see that as a recreational resource.
It's not.
Even of a private nature. I understand it doesn't necessarily need to be public,
But if you look at D, that's like, maybe that changes people's view.
yeah, informally it might have some. Because we've heard that input, that people walk down there.
But can people do that in private property? Well, that's not.
Whether or not they can or not, they do.
They can be prosecuted. Would you guys, how do you view that question? I'm just out of curiosity.
C or D?
Well, I think C, we said no, D.
Yeah, I think we have consensus on C being in a small amount.
If it's informally and illegally, or...
Yeah, see, I don't get it. If it's completely illegal and the owner has established that he does not want that activity happening on his property now, why does trespassing become an acceptable form of impact? I don't think we should say, oh, you can't trespass anymore, so it's going to impact you negatively.
Formally may mean a public park that's formally a park.
Yeah.
And informally may mean a publicly owned land that wasn't designated as a park, but people still use it. I would guess.
It's ludicrous to me to think that private property is somehow, being as a loss for community open space. Read that question, come on.
Well, this whole section is carefully worded, even the overarching question, reduction of an open space resource, there.
Yeah.
As designated in any adopted municipal open space plan, which we have established that this is not in an open space plan. So therefore,
That's the same.
that question, D's got to be no.
All right, I concur.
So unless anybody has any other impacts, we have no's on everything, so that means that
We have shifted this.
We shifted this down.
the impact is no.
Okay?
So who was that? That was John? Councilor Howell. Back to you.
12, impact on critical environmental areas. Proposed action may be located within or adjacent to a critical environmental area. And there are a number of, so item A, proposed action may result in the reduction in the quantity of a resource or characteristic with the basis for designation of the CEA.
We don't have a CEA here, so I think this whole question is irrelevant.
Staff did recommend no on the entire section, so.
And the application states it is not listed in the CEA.
It's awful easy.
Would you like to continue?
If you like.
Do the transportation one, Dave.
Section 13, 15 with transportation.
That's going to be a tough.
Impact on transportation, proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. A, project traffic increase may exceed capacity of existing road network. Staff recommends moderate to large, which I would agree with.
I agree with that. And I think
So the next one would be is the proposed action may result in the construction of paved parking area for 500 or more vehicles.
That's a lot of vehicles.
Because the reduced size of the project no longer is 500.
You only have 200 something units.
Well, how many parking spaces?
Well, there's two situations. There's covered parking. Okay, and I'm not sure that this assumes covered parking. If you exclude covered parking, we're definitely nowhere near 500. If you include covered parking, so it's not exposed, it's inside the building, it's in a structure, we had actually a little over 200 cover spaces and 360. We got all the parking for the boats. If you include covered, I think it's still below 500. It's close. If you exclude covered, it's definitely not over 500.
I just don't know where parking's got anything to do with transportation. When I think of transportation, I'm thinking of the movement of vehicles, not the parked ones. I kind of get the association, but I just don't.
It's more for offices, I think, where people,
I think this is for, super center.
Or if you have a major employment center, so what's your total parking now?
I don't have it off the top of my head, but I think it's still under 500.
I think it's still under 500, it's close, but again, a good portion of it's covered.
And when you say it's something like a driveway, on a single family, how do you count those driveways?
Well, I think they're talking about like dedicated parking stalls, so striped stalls outside the 160 condos / luxury apartments was, I think, around 180 or so, and roughly similar amount covered. And then townhouses had, there were 2-car garages, so, technically is that parking? There's 2 cars in the garage, which is the same as the covered area under the condos. And then you have a driveway where you can park 2 more cars.
I would say no. I don't think this question applies really as far.
I think it's more along if this is a Walmart or something like that.
Right.
Staff is indicated for small impact.
Okay.
Item C, the proposed action will degrade existing transit access.
Transit, public transit, I believe so.
I don't see that.
Yeah.
Right, it says in the application that there's not public private transportation services available, no one has that on the original site, so.
D, the proposed action will degrade existing pedestrian or bicycle accommodations.
Hopefully it makes it better.
Especially with degrade that now. The next one, the proposed action may alter the present pattern of movement of people or goods. Would it alter the pattern? People walking?
People can't trespass anymore, but other than that, I don't think it will alter much.
Well, I think altering here can refer to if it creates enough congestion on one street that people start to seek other routes.
But it's one street in.
Okay. I'm just saying, that's part of the,
Well, but what about Alphonse Avenue, like the impact from traffic on Alphonse Avenue on a full build out? Will that cause people to stay more on Leonard's Road, go through the circles, and maybe go through Alphonse maybe? Is that a possibility?
We already have one, yes, as far as
yeah, and I want to get into other impacts.
look at the traffic patterns,
All right, they already investigated. Why don't we say yes and then make sure it's not negative?
Yes.
Okay. So yes there.
Yes.
Other impacts, Jim?
I just want to make sure we have a thorough accounting of the operation of the intersections adjoining the site, certainly, and I want to see the justification for the intersections that are included in the analysis and the justification for those that were not. So I want some rationale for, you know, the traffic analysis that's going to be done and the basis for, you know, your assumptions, all that I think it needs to be thoroughly discussed, because that is going to be a section of your impact statement that is heavily scrutinized.
We'll put that in the scoping document.
Well, that's what I'm just saying that, that needs to be, a thorough analysis.
Okay, so we added that, and that section is a yes. Councilwoman Wozzachowski.
Number 14, impact on energy. Proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy. A, proposed action will require a new or an upgrade to an existing substation.
No, it's not you're not a major power user. I mean,
The proposed action will require the creation or extension of an energy transmission or supply system to serve more than 50 single or two-family residences or to serve a commercial or industrial site.
Yes.
The proposed action will utilize more than 2,500 megawatt hours per year of electricity.
I don't believe so.
No.
The proposed action may involve heating and or cooling of more than 100,000 square feet of building area when completed.
No. It's a big part.
We do have one, yes, so that would make this section yes.
No other impacts, right?
What is the total combined square feet of in here? Is that what they're saying, or that's one single 100?
That's one building.
Those are one.
Right, I believe. This should come with instructions.
I think it is cumulative.
What are you guys looking at for total square footage for everything you're building?
Yeah, it's in the instructions.
Probably close to 400,000.
So that's a yes.
It's a yes.
And then no other impacts, anyone said no?
Nope, I didn't have any.
15, impact on noise, odor, and lights. The proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odor, and outdoor lighting. We have A through E. A, the proposed action may produce sound above noise levels established by local regulation. No.
Well, during construction is the only thing,
Yeah.
I don't know if that references construction as well. So there could be some noise then. If we do, say our sewer lines have to go deeper, we do have to blast, which is the next question. So during construction possibly, but besides that, no.
Why don't we indicate it as a yes, moderate to large,
All right,
and we can note that, you know, during construction.
so A and B are both yes during construction. And then C, I don't believe you're gonna have routine odors for more than 1 hour per day. Let's say we make that.
How's your pump stations working?
We're getting there, The proposed action may result in the light shining onto adjoining properties. That's the question of the year. Yes.
They said yes as well.
Yeah, I would say yes.
I still want to say something right now.
The proposed action may result in lighting creating sky glow brighter than the existing area conditions. Well, you gotta say yes. That's you got darkness. Did you say yes? I would say yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Any other impacts? All right, so that section's a yes, and I think we're on to our 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, we're almost there. Impact on human health. The proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contaminants. That's the overarching question, and this goes A through M. A, the proposed action is located within 1,500 feet of a school, hospital, licensed daycare center, group home, nursing home, or retirement community.
No.
No? Okay. The site of the proposed action is currently undergoing remediation. Not currently. The site of the action is subject to an institutional control limiting the use of the property. I'm sorry, C, there is a completed emergency spill remediation or completed environmental site remediation on or adjacent to the site of the proposed action.
No, I thought that was.
Spill remediation?
Yeah.
Something was boring and stuff on the thing, didn't it?
There was no saying to have to create a wetlands or remove wetlands.
The site has some spill lines associated with it.
Still, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it hasn't been remediated. There's never an emergency spill remediation now.
There wasn't remediation.
No, there's no remediation of any type there.
No, just.
There were previous consent, but there's nothing.
Him creating and moving wetlands, but there's no remediation of spills.
Not currently ongoing. There's no consent on this currently. So.
And it says in GCC's report that, there's been, over the last 10 years or so, the property owners conducted limited investigations into the types of locations of specific contaminants, but no final reports have been completed.
Okay, okay, so that's a no or a small amount. Okay. D, the site of the action is subject to an institutional control limiting the use of the property. I don't know of any, like a deed restriction or easement. I don't know of any. I didn't see mention of any in the reports. The proposed action may affect institutional control measures that were put in place to ensure that the site remains protective of the environment and human health.
Well, there's been no remediation, so there's been no barrier things put up or anything like that, right? So if there's been no remediation, there would be.
Can I go back to D for a minute?
Sure.
There is an easement or deed restriction for the club to use for riverfront access.
But it's small, it says no,
It's small.
so
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it's small.
That's not an institutional control.
Okay,
It's noted, but I think it's small, if anything.
okay.
Okay. F, the proposed action has adequate control measures in place to ensure that future generation, treatment, and/or disposal of hazardous waste will be protective of the environment and human health.
I don't know, I mean,
Well, there's no control measures put in place, so right now it's no, but in the future, maybe.
it says the proposed action has adequate control measures. How will we know that?
Well, it doesn't.
Well, if you don't know, then you would say, what's the consensus?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it does not have adequate control measures.
See, it's one of those poorly worded questions again.
Okay.
State test.
Yeah, this is like an SAT. What's the definition of this?
The proposed action involves construction or modification of a solid waste management facility. No. Proposed action may result in the unearthing of solid or hazardous waste. Yeah, that's a yes.
If it's not a yes, then what are we doing?
We're all afraid of what it's going to be.
The proposed action may result in an increase in the rate of disposal or processing of solid waste.
Yeah.
I think it's within a small,
More housing units, yeah, use more solid waste.
it's nothing exceptional.
Yeah, it's small, in fact.
Solid waste, not hazardous waste.
Okay, J, the proposed action may result in excavation or other disturbance within 2,000 feet of a site used for the disposal of solid or hazardous waste.
It's a yes. The whole site is used as we think.
Okay, so it's a yes. The proposed action may result in the migration of explosive gases from a landfill site to adjacent off-site structures. No. L, the proposed action may result in the release of contaminated leachate from the project site.
That's gotta be a yes.
Okay, other impacts? Anybody?
On L, leachate is a specific item, usually from a landfill. So I don't know, it's up to you, but I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's a traditional.
Yeah. So it's not referring to the potential for the chemical or whatever else.
what do you think? Modify that back to small moderate, or no, small moderate?
Yeah, I mean, because we've covered the proposed action may result in unearthing hazardous waste, so that's going to be excluded.
All right, so we're saying no or small
Yeah.
on L,
Yeah.
correction. Okay? Other impacts? I didn't have any.
No.
No. Okay, so that's a yes due to two potential moderate or large impacts under H and J.
Only two more sections.
Okay, John?
17, consistency with community plans. The proposed action is not consistent with adopted land use plans. A through H, the proposed actions plan use components may be different from or in sharp contrast to current surrounding land use patterns.
Well, I say no. It's next to a residential neighborhood. It's conforming more with the surrounding land use.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, well, there's a single family component.
Other parts, multifamily.
Yeah. The residential. I mean, it's a move in the right direction from industrial to residential. But if you want to say no, or no, there's actually the land use may be different. You could say yes. I mean, I think residential, but
If you have undeveloped waterfront, now you're in it's different.
well, it's not undeveloped. Yeah, that was industrial park there. And a good portion of it, and boat storage and the other. Boat graveyard.
I think in deference to the level of community input we've gotten on this, I would indicate a moderate to large on this.
Okay.
Okay. B, the proposed action will cause the permanent population of the city, town, or village in which the project is located to grow by more than 5%.
Well, no, but yes on the neighborhood.
On Hamlet. Yeah, but it says,
That's what you're gonna argue.
yeah,
They said the Hamlet's gonna double in size.
The Hamlet's within the town, it's not its own
Not a
separate
section.
municipality.
It's not an incorporated,
yeah.
It's a neighborhood.
Right.
It's the population of the city, town, or village, which is not gonna grow.
Well, I'm surprised there's anyone asking about it. I understand. I think the all clause folks are not gonna be happy with that answer.
Do we put it under other?
yeah, let's put it
Say no there, but yes.
That's a good idea.
Good idea, Dave.
It doesn't say Hamlet's. C, the proposed action is inconsistent with local land use plans or zoning regulations.
I say no.
No, because we anticipate mixed use.
Okay, no. D, the proposed action is inconsistent with any county plans or other regional land use plans.
The only regional plan I'm aware of is the local waterfront revitalization plan, and this would be consistent with that.
Right. So that's a
So,
no.
that's a no.
E, the proposed action may cause a change in the density of development that is not supported by existing infrastructure or is distant from existing infrastructure.
Let's it know because there was existing.
We got water and sewer on site.
So it's related to only infrastructure, not density of the neighborhood.
Correct.
Okay.
And infrastructure
Not
includes
supported by existing.
road infrastructure as well.
So is that a yes then?
That's a no.
No. Okay. F, the proposed action is located in an area characterized by low-density development that will require new or expanded public infrastructure.
It's probably new private infrastructure.
The sad thing about that question is if we just stopped after low density development, that would be a yes.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not what the question is. So it's gotta be a no. No public infrastructure
Sewer.
investment.
But wait a minute,
That's what we require
say, if you've only, how many houses are in there now? None. You're gonna put in 300? I'd say that is very low density.
But it doesn't require expanding public infrastructure.
I think what this refers to is if you had to add on to your actual water treatment or stormwater or sanitary treatment facilities. That infrastructure, not just to say expanding up every pipeline connecting to it.
That's no.
All right, so we're saying no, okay?
G, the proposed action may induce secondary development impacts, as in residential or commercial development not included in proposed action.
On the site, that has to be a no, because there's no room.
Well, anywhere in the immediate vicinity, I think, would still be.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a no.
And then for H on other, Jim said you were gonna,
Looking at the idea of increased density and its impact on the hamlet.
On the hamlet.
okay.
So it's increased density.
Okay, so that's a yes. And we are back around the horn to Councilman Helm.
Consistency with community character.
Last one.
Final. The proposed project is inconsistent with the existing community character. Question A, the proposed action may replace or eliminate existing facility structures or areas of historic importance to the community.
No, that's a no.
We're saying no. B, the proposed action may create the demand for additional community services such
Yes.
as schools, police, and fire.
Absolutely.
That's been alleged
Well,
as a concern.
Yes.
yeah,
Needs to be investigated.
yeah.
Roll with the yes.
You're gonna have some people who are, you know, you have school kids. Yeah.
The proposed, C, the proposed action may displace affordable or low-income housing in an area where there's a shortage of such housing.
No.
No. D, the proposed action may interfere with the use or enjoyment of officially recognized or designated public resources.
Nope.
No. E, the proposed action is inconsistent with the predominant architectural scale and character. Staff did recommend it, yes.
I would say yes, based on a single family neighborhood.
Wait a
Yeah.
second, you just were reverse on that question.
Which
Oh,
question?
that's true.
I mean, I don't know that there's any dominant architectural scale in that immediate period. I suppose you could say yes.
You've already got one, yes.
We don't have too many three-story structures.
Yeah. I don't know what question you're referring to, but I think that's consistent, that they're inconsistent with the architectural style.
The answer is moderate to large impact on that one, I think.
Yep. F, proposed action is inconsistent with the character of the existing natural landscape. Staff indicated a moderate to large amount, they inclined to go, yeah, with a small.
Me too. I don't see where there's an existing natural landscape there, because the area that is natural, they're not going into, and the area that is not is, it looks like a bottom natural.
Yeah.
Some action.
All right, so no to small?
Yeah.
Any other impacts there? Should we note anything else on the community character that folks are going to?
I think with E, with your.
I think we can get a little bit more into that in the scoping. I think there's got to be a thorough presentation of the architecture that you're planning, and how it complements the existing.
Okay. That is part
So
2.
we're adding that, Jim, as another,
Well, I'm going to talk about scoping, I'm just saying.
and that whole section with a yes.
But now we have a short discussion on scoping, which is part 3, because this is not anything we're going to write tonight. But this, Jim, is a narrative, because I understand part 3.
That's correct. That's correct.
Why don't you just tell us what you hope to do with this one tonight?
All I want to do is make sure that we're in consensus on the points as raised, as you see bulleted there, for reasons for supporting this determination. And it's basically a summary of those things that we indicated as a moderate to large impact may occur. And I think it's just a repeat of that is essentially what happens. And then, if there's anything in particular that you do want to highlight, like the impact of the hamlet, you know, the architectural discussion, traffic, you know, an aspect or an element of traffic, these are the things we need to list here. I would, Mike, is that something you could take a shot at for us, or?
Yeah.
I mean, do you agree with everything I just said?
Yeah, I think we want to mention those specific areas that we've identified as having moderate or large potential impact. And
Kevin has started a draft of this, so maybe Mike and Kevin can.
That's fine. And then going on the second page of this form, we would check C, item C. This project may result in one or more significant adverse impacts on the environment, and an environmental impact statement must be prepared to further assess the impacts and possible mitigation to explore alternatives to avoid and reduce those impacts. Accordingly, this positive declaration is issued, and I think Chris then signs as the designated responsible officer for the lead agency.
Which means he's setting me up to go first.
We'll come to see you.
Yeah, come visit.
I'll bake you a cake.
For cookies.
All right. So,
Now, don't you think that was a worthwhile exercise to go through those?
yes.
I know it was, instead of just passing a resolution. Don't you understand the project better now?
Yes, we do appreciate that. So, with the resolution 9, issuing a secret positive declaration for the waterfront plan development district rezoning application by Prime Mohawk LLC, 34 acres of property at 45 Mohawk Avenue. All clause, do I have a motion?
I will move it.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and second. Before we begin discussion, I think I'd like to move for an amendment to the resolution. That would add a scoping session. And Mike, where exactly would that
But
be?
in the second, it's further resolved on page 2.
Yep.
So that prior to the submission of draft environmental impact statement, the applicant is directed to prepare a draft scope pursuant to 617.8 of the regulations, it's sent to the town board, I'm going to say by July 26th,
That would be fine. Yeah, right, that's next one, next,
for review and revision, and
Next Wednesday.
next, yeah, we got a draft already done, it's got to go through it, so I think we'll be good there.
so review and revision at a town board meeting.
Work session. Work session. Hold on. August 9th.
Town board work session on August 9th, 2017 at 7 p.m. at the Glenville Center.
Has the motion been moved? I can't remember.
We moved the motion, we're on the amendment. Okay. So we're going to come back to the motion.
Okay.
After the amendment.
Okay, well, in terms of the amendment, and my only other question, Mike, would be, is the 12 things that are listed there, are they still correct in the resolution as to the 12 subject areas?
So we flipped one, didn't we?
Not entirely.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Well, yes, we had one, I just went through them quick. We said 1, 3, 4, 5.
And I did very good from there. All right, so I'll read it to you. Impact on land.
11 we split.
Impact on geological and surrounding. Flooding.
We flipped on open space.
What's on open space because you didn't allow the use informally by the community to be a yes.
Yeah. So 7.
Right, 7.
Second amendment.
we have consistency with community plans is back in. Or is in.
Right, so you take one out, we have a minute.
Yeah.
Consistency.
I think number 17 is in.
Community plans,
Community character, the last.
Yeah, that's still good.
17 needs to go in.
11, 17, community.
Yeah.
So it's community plans.
No, it's both of them, so that is
Right,
right.
right.
Yeah.
But only community character is this character.
Still 12, but we're taking out 7, we're in community plans. That would be a second amendment, though, right, Mike?
Right.
And those two can go on the same amendment? Okay. So we're still on the First Amendment of, this submitted by July 26th for review at an August 9th work session here at Town Center. Any comments or questions? So on the amendments, please record the vote. Can we move the amendment? I need someone to move the amendment.
I'll move the amendment.
I'll second.
Seconded, was discussed, apparently out of order. Now we're on the roll call.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Catalani?
Yes.
Councilman Hennel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, amendment passes, so we now have resolution 9A, and I will move a second amendment to eliminate item number 7, impact on open space and recreation, and add a new, what would be number 11, community plans to the consistency of community plans under the list of full assessment, environmental assessment form reviews. So that's, I moved it, I need a second.
I'll second it.
That's second, moved in second, any discussion on that?
I still think that the informal use constitutes open space. I still think that 11D is a yes. I know you think it's illegally, but they are using their,
I'd say we stick with our answer,
okay.
personally. So on the amendments, seeing no other discussion, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Catalani?
Yes.
Councilman Hennel?
No.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. We are now on resolution 9B. And we have taken it up. Do we have to retake it up, Mike, or because it's been amended, doesn't have to be motion? So it's on the table. Any questions or comments on that? That's you, Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry, I moved it.
No, we moved it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you
Oh,
want to make any comments?
I'm
I think
sorry.
you did. I don't know.
Yes, okay, this is the resolution now as amended, that will, come to a positive declaration on the, matter before us, which is the, Prime Mohawk LLC, Riverfront Recreational, Planned Unit Development, that we just got done reviewing. And we've taken a hard look, and I want to reference the fact that that hard look involved referencing the input from the residents during several public meetings, input from our Glenville Environmental Conservation Committee, as well as our Planning and Zoning Commission. So it was a thorough review and with full participation. And I just want to make sure that's referenced in the record.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Catalani?
Yes.
Councilman Hennel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution 10, approving extension 17 to sewer district 9. Do you have a motion?
So,
Second.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this resolution, if it was approved, would exclude the extension number 17 sewer district number 9, which references the property known as 7 Weston Drive. It's to be noted that the extension and any costs are going to be more for the developer or property owner.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Catalani?
Yes.
Councilman Hennel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 11, authorizing the purchase of 2 marked police vehicles. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, this is a resolution authorizing the purchase of 2 2017 Ford Police Interceptor sedan marked police cars at a cost not to exceed $74,000. And it's just noted also that this is this purchase is actually being done with some consolidation efforts, and they are leveraging, as earlier noted in the meeting tonight, that they're going to be leveraging a City of Utica bid award amount to purchase these cars. And these 2 new cars will be repurposed to existing patrol vehicles to unmarked uses, and will also result in 2 vehicles, a 2004 Chevy Impala and a 2005 Ford Crown Victoria, as being deemed surplus property. And this expense is budgeted within the budget.
Excellent. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pivoani?
Yes.
Councilman Howell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 12, approving the monthly department reports for June 2017. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved in second. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pivoani?
Yes.
Councilman Howell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Finally, on to new business, we'll start on the left with Councilman Kennedy.
No new business.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski.
And then,
Councilman Martin.
I just want to mention, I think that Jason has wrapped up his sales tax analysis. I think he's done some nice work. There's a lot of exciting information in there. And I think we have a lot to talk about, so.
I would concur with interesting, I don't know what to say, but okay. Councilman Pivoani.
No new business.
Okay, I have no new business, so with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moving second, all in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? We're adjourned.